Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spiritually Fucked podcast. I'm your host, Taylor Mulholland. Let's get into the show. Hello, everyone. Um, a little housekeeping. If you're on YouTube, hey, I'm wearing a hat today because my hair is really dirty and I am impromptu podcasting right now. And so you're going to get what you get. And also, my closet is open because my cat is in there and he needs an escape. And so that's what's up. If you're not on YouTube, then hello. We're back. We're back. And I am starting a new series today called Star Weather Report. The planets in April. That's going to be the kickoff. And I don't know if you've been feeling it lately, but it is Aries season. And I have moon in Aries. And so I resonate a lot with the Aries. And it's so interesting because my whole life I've kind of neglected my Aries moon. Like I was a little ashamed of it. I'm like, ew, Aries? Like, shouldn't I be like a Pisces moon, which I am in Vedic astrology, or like a Cancer or like Earth moon? And then I I really started embodying my Aries moon and realized that this is exactly who I am. And why is that? Well, it's because Aries are the first sign in the zodiac. They are the fire sign. They are the go getters, the doers. You could call them passionate or you could call them crazy, but they're going to get shit done. And our emotions, or our moon, is where we hold our emotions. And so it just makes a lot of sense that me having my emotions be on fire all the time. And so if you have a fire moon and you can relate to that, then that's what's up. You're living in your chart. And so I really want to take a second to explain why I'm doing this and to let you know that I'm kind of a brand new astrologer. I took school last year, but this seems like a remembering for me, and I've had many psychics tell me that this is what I'm meant to do, and so I really am taking this opportunity to channel. I am channeling this shit, and so I didn't do a ton of research. I'm really just looking at the fucking astrology wheel and the planets and what they're doing, and everything that comes through is I'm channeling it. And, I know a little bit about the signs, I know a little bit about the houses, I know a little bit where the planets are, and the rest I'm just gonna fill in the blank. And so I could be completely wrong. It's just, I really wanna say that I'm a newbie, and this is coming from a place of just extreme curiosity and a passion for astrology. And so, if it resonates with you, then that's all that matters. Truly, everything in this life is subjective. And so, if you can apply yourself to something I say or take it and run, and I tell you that the planets, it's a great time to start your passions, like fucking go do that. It's like I am just here to share what I'm passionate about. And right now it's astrology. And I really, if I say something wrong, okay, you know why I'm saying this? I'm saying this if an expert astrologer is listening and, and they're like, Taylor, you are wrong. But, a part of maybe this will be a good plug for astrology and my Saturn return, but a part of my journey right now and just throughout my life is being more confident in myself. And so I guess I'm just like trying to build confidence in my gifts. And, you know, all my astrology readings have been incredibly scary accurate. I've had a lot of people reflect that back to me. And so I'm just trying to build the confidence to start sharing. And, you know, I love this shit and it's really helped me. And so if it can help you, then that's great. We both win. And so, yeah, let's just start off. And so it's Aries season. Last season was Pisces. And if you listen to my last podcast, I talked a little bit about what is Pisces season. And it really is the subconscious mind. And so, well, that is Pisces. Pisces is like the watery, subconscious, like 12th house, very, very like mental. If you've ever met a Pisces who's very mental, then they're living in Pisces. But they're very highly intuitive, and it's kind of like they're the 12th sign in the zodiac. Like they're the end. They could be death. Like they're kind of like death. And so, what was dying in the past few months, or what was needed to be resurfaced to let go of? And that's how I took the last 2 months of Pisces season, was a lot of mental things that I needed to release and a lot of subconscious patterns that I'm growing out of. And a lot of those came up through uncomfortable situations or through psychotic thinking or through just realizing who you are living on a mental level, because our external reality is just a mirror of what's going on internally. And so Pisces season was the opportunity of just going inward and looking and seeing, how do I think about this world, or how do I think about myself? And for me, stepping into Aries season is stepping into that identity. And so a great opportunity right now that we are in Aries season is to fully embody that new identity, or not even new identity, but that higher level of identity, that more pure identity you're stepping into, embodying that by realizing what is not yours. And probably the last 2 months, maybe some things have come up, especially in the mental realm. Like, what is it? What are those patterns or cycles that you're running through that are not serving you any longer? For me, example was a low self-worth, and Aries is the deliverer of self-worth and identity, and stepping into that. And my Saturn is in Aries, and so I have a lot of wounds around self-worth and identity. And so these last 2 months I've really just gone and see, okay, I'm really not valuing myself enough. These are the subconscious patterns running in my brain. This is the Pisces part of me in my subconscious, is that I'm thinking I'm not worthy, or I'm really devaluing myself. And I recognized that through experiences externally that were happening to me, because again, our external environment is a reflection of what's happening internally. So if internally you're thinking low of yourself, the world will reflect that for you. And that's what was happening. And so I recognized these patterns during Pisces season, and now that it's Aries season, I'm fucking fully embodied. And I have felt it. I have felt this shift on on March 20th. You guys, I've been literally running around like my heart is on fire recently. And I don't know what it is. I'm like, did I eat something, or am I drinking too much caffeine? Because my heart is just, it's so expansive right now. And I'm feeling so much. I guess the word is expansion. And, Jupiter is in Cancer right now. I think it will be there for the next year. Is that correct? Perhaps, but I have Cancer rising, and so Jupiter is the planet of expansion. And so the fact that I am rising into Cancer, and Jupiter's there, it's like expanding my intuitiveness. This is across for everyone. Like, Cancer is the intuitive body, it is the nervous system, it is what think of Cancers. They're like homebody, intuitive beings. And if Jupiter is there, this planet of abundance and expansion, right now is the time to hone in on your intuition. This is the time. And so if you're feeling really sensitive lately, and if this is resonating for you, then that's great. You are a sensitive being. And knowing that anything I say, also, I'm going off tangent again, anything I ever say, you are a match to hear. And so that's that. Yeah, you were a match to hear all of this. And so whether we're just going to leave it at that, okay? This is my Aries moon just being so passionate about things. And I'm really passionate about people's intuition. And so if you're listening to this in general, you're probably a highly intuitive being. I think that's where I was going. But Jupiter being there right now, wherever Cancer is in your chart, it's expanding that for you. And so, moral of the story, work on your intuition. And it's pretty much just building trust in yourself. And what better season to build trust in yourself is Aries season, when you are stepping into this identity of who you are. And you don't have to be an Aries, or you don't have to have a lot of Aries placements in your chart, but this is just the fucking season. And so Yeah, I've been really feeling on fire. And I think a part of this reason is because I'm starting to value myself now. And that's what happens when you start to fucking value yourself is you become a match to opportunities that are going to bring you to that next level of evolution. That's all healing is. Healing is just bringing yourself to that next level of evolution. That only you can get there. Only it's your soul on this path. You're not trying to be any other soul. And if you're trying to do what other souls are doing, you should stop. And you should go back to what your soul is meant to experience in this life. And that's what healing is. That's why we heal, quote unquote, heal or do the work. It's just bringing us to that next level. And right now is a really good opportunity to take a moment to see what that identity is. What is that next level you want to step into? Who is this person you want to become? Why are you doing the healing work? Like, is it to feel better about yourself? Why don't you make that choice to feel better about yourself now and fucking run with it? And this is the season to do it. And so I did write some notes. And so I'm on the wrong note. My other note says cancel Southwest, credit card, and buy meat. That is my list for today is cancel Southwest credit card and buy meat. Anyways, back to the planetary star weather. So today is full moon in Libra. It's April 1st, April Fool's, baby. I wonder what the science behind the holiday is. But anyways, the science, like science is real. Okay. A good day for 12th house Gemini. That's for sure. That's me. We're crazies. We're crazy or passionate, whatever you want to call it. Okay, anyways. Beginning of the month, full moon in Libra. It's in the third house. Okay? And yeah, what is the third house? Third house is siblings. Your inner child. I look at the third house and I see its inner child. And so Libra is all about relationships, and when I look at the third house, I think of inner child. So what is the relationship with your inner child? What is the relationship with your inner child that is going to bring you into that next level of identity for yourself? And it's the full moon. And so what full moons do is they illuminate things. And so, for example, me and my little inner child, who I've been working very closely with the past few months, because I'm recognizing the things that she went through and how they're still playing out in my life right now. And so, my invitation for you is what is something in your life you want to change or something that's no longer serving you? And how did that show up for you as a little boy or girl? How is that in relationship to your inner child? And that is my channeling for the full moon in Aries this month is look at the relationship with your inner child, compare it to the identity you want to step into, and see, well, why can't I step into that identity? Is it because my inner child is quote unquote wounded or still living in the past? Like for me, I'm realizing that I had a lot of experiences growing up of not being chosen and how that is playing out in my life right now. And so, what I would do with this full moon in Libra is I'd look at that relationship with me and my inner child and I'd say, well, do you see how all those experiences were false? And that you really don't have to live in that mentality anymore of not being chosen. Because as a human being, you are divinely chosen to be here. You were divinely chosen by your parents. And you were divinely chosen by God to be walking this earth. And so, why do you think you cannot be chosen? It was just one experience or two experiences. For me, it was a bunch of experiences in the past that implemented in my brain that I can't be chosen. And now, as a 30-year-old girl, almost 30, I'm 29, I'm having all these experiences of not being chosen because it's a subconscious pattern running in my brain. And I need to look at that and say how those are false, and I need to prove to myself that I was chosen. And the easiest way to do it is to just fucking look at where I am. I'm on earth right now. I was chosen to be here. And just reminding myself that's how you heal, or that's how you rewire your brain, is through proof. And I just have to prove to myself that I was chosen. And, you know, the bigger picture, I was chosen to walk on this earth. I was chosen by my parents. But little things like, I don't know, I was chosen for, um, what can I think of an example? Like if I won a giveaway in the past on Instagram, I was chosen for that. Or if someone calls my name at Starbucks because I put in a coffee order, I was chosen. They chose me. They chose to call my name at that exact time. You know, it's like little things like that that start to rewire your brain. And so that's my invitation for you for this full moon in Libra. What is the relationship to your inner child and how is it correlated to your new identity? Chiron and Aries. I really wanted to talk about this. I don't know why I'm obsessed with Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. I have no notes for this, but the fact that Chiron is in Aries. And so what's coming through right now is just, okay, Chiron is the wounded healer and it's in Aries right now. And so it's like, where in your life have you been wounded in your identity? So where have you showed up as yourself and you've been wounded, quote unquote wounded, or like bullied, or you just were trying to get attention or trying to just simply be yourself and then someone fucking like shut you down. It's like, how can you look back at those experiences again and prove to yourself that those are false, or prove to yourself that you were just trying your best, or just see that maybe there were some experiences in the past that have quote unquote wounded you or hurt you, and how are you healing from those? Aries is the fire starter, the go getter. They are fucking passionate beings. And I invite you to look back at these wounds in the past and say, well, what was the healing part of them? And it's in the ninth house. And so the ninth house is kind of like the guru teacher house. And so I'm thinking of school, I'm thinking of like teachers and or people that you put on a pedestal in the past. Let's go with that. I'm inviting you to look back at past experiences where you were left wounded or hurt from past teachers, gurus, or people you pedestalized, and seeing how they were wrong. And maybe I'm just talking to myself about this because I've had a lot of experience in the past, and a lot of my inner child work had to do with public school and had to do with these teachers telling me that, I failed a lot in school. I was not a good cookie, okay? Um, I got a D on my poetry project. Like, what do you think that did to me wanting to produce a poetry book this past year? It took a lot of healing, and I've had spiritual teachers and mentors tell me a lot of just mean things, being like, why are you, like, okay, I had an experience where I had this motherfucker, he was like a shaman guy, and he was like, you're only doing combo for the scene. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Do you know how intense? If anyone's ever done combo in their life, you don't do that for the scene. Maybe you go to breath work or drink ayahuasca for the scene, but combo is not for the fucking week. And this was like my 15th ceremony at this point, and I'm like, dude, I'm trying to fucking heal lineages here. I'm not doing this for the clout. Are you kidding? I'm not throwing up in a bucket for the clout. It's the most like unaesthetically healing thing you can do. I mean, you're burning holes in your skin. And that wounded me so much, and it made me never want to serve combo, and I didn't. I didn't. I put it aside. I said, I'm not serving combo because this guru that I put on a pedestal told me I'm only doing it for the show. Well, you know what? I look back at that and I go, isn't this whole life a show? Isn't everything we do for the show? And I've had to do a lot of healing around that. That was a big wound for me. And, I think a lot of people, especially from ages 0 to 7, that's when your subconscious is developing. And so if someone in a hierarchy, you hierarchy people, which when you're a 7-year-old, of course you do. You look at your teachers as like, oh shit, they're running the room. They're God, pretty much. you're going to put them on a hierarchy. And so if they tell you you're being a bad student or to shut up or that your project's bad, like it's going to implement you. And so with Chiron being in Aries right now, I would say fucking look back and say, oh, I'm going to heal my wounds and I'm going to run with it. And so this month, I would just really put the overall theme as like stepping into that identity by realizing what was false in the past and taking that passion and that fire and running with it. And speaking of passion, Venus is in Taurus, baby. And Venus loves to be in Taurus because Taurus is the sign of Venus. Because Venus is the sign of Taurus. And we're passionate, pleasureful beings, and Venus is that sexy, pleasureful planet. It's relationships. And so a lot of grounding in your inner relationship. And of course, the inner relationship with yourself. Like, that's the main relationship. But how are you reacting or how are you communicating with others? This would be a great time for bubble baths with yourself. Like, I believe our relationship with others is only as good as our relationship with ourselves. And so, with it being in the sign of Taurus, I would say, how are you treating yourself on a self care level? And how is self care? What is self care to you? Is it speaking your needs? That's very grounded in Taurus. Using your voice. So, yeah, my invitation for you would be to use your voice and speak your needs. And how is that taking care of yourself? Because if you can't pour from an empty cup. And this month with Venus and Taurus, I would say, how can you fill up your cup? Please yourself, bring that pleasure to your own inner world, to step into that new identity, to speak your truth and speak your boundaries. Re-romance the relationship with yourself. And yeah, if you're with someone, go take them on a sexy fucking date. This is really about rules the throat. And I'm feeling a lot in my throat right now. So it's like, this is the month to speak your needs, to speak your truths, what you want on a pleasure side. Like, this is the month, baby. Because when it hits Gemini, I think I made a point or a note. It moves into Gemini eventually. I think this month. But Gemini is all about communication. So this would be a good month to kind of ground in your boundaries. So, and right now I'm envisioning like a pipe, like of running water. So you want to create that pipe of like boundaries so that conversation, when Gemini season comes for Venus, conversations can flow and communication can be easy. And so this is a great time to set the stable ground for the relationship for yourself and your relationship with others, especially that romantic relationship. And then Mercury in Pisces right now goes into Aries April 14th. And so Mercury is the planet of communication. And so you could be communicating very sensitively or communicating straight from your emotions these past few weeks. And so when it enters Aries April 14th, communication's going to be on fire. And so this is another good time to kind of set the stable ground of your intentions before communicating. You know, that's a really good just tip overall to take with your life, is like, why are you speaking? What is your intentions when you do open your fucking mouth? Like, are you wanting to be mean, or are you genuinely wanting to share your heart? Are you wanting attention, or are you just trying to share your needs? And none of those are right or wrong. It's just really stabilize or ground down into the intention. And so if you're feeling a little like you're speaking from your emotions, or like, because it's in Pisces right now, it's like, if you're, I'm thinking of like, I'm seeing like a crying girl. So it's like, if you're just like, you know, when someone's like feeling really overwhelmed and they just like spurt out their emotions, but it's really just like they're like word vomiting and it's not really grounded. It's like, right now would be a really good time to just recognize how you're communicating and see, it's like, am I just spewing my words out there? or am I letting them land with me first? Like, what's coming out of my mouth right now? And how can I shift when it enters in Aries? How can I make sure what comes through is coming from the heart, it's coming from the ground, and it's not just like gonna light shit on fire? Like, I need a stable foundation, a stable ground for my words to communicate. Because communication's gonna be I wouldn't be surprised if the news is just like on fuego. Like if everyone in the next few months is just like fucking can't shut the fuck up. That's really Gemini season, but like communications is definitely going to be fired up with that sign in Aries. And then Mars is into Aries April 9th. Yeah, Mars loves Aries. When I think of Mars in Aries, or when people have Mars in Aries, I think of Muhammad Ali. Like, I think of a fucking MMA fighter, because Mars is how you move through this world. And Aries, again, that fire, headstrong leader. And so when these are together, this would be a great season for fucking um, martial arts. My witch doctor always tells me I'd be good at martial arts, or it'd be a good thing for me to get in because I have Aries moon, which I tried jujitsu and it didn't work out. I got really sick in the warm up. Couldn't even make it past the warm up. I'm more of a circus girl. I'm more of a circus acts kind of girl. Anyways, back to the planets. So, yes, Mars and Aries, they love to be together. So, this is a great time to get into your body. Who is this new identity you're embodying, and how is getting into your actual body gonna translate that? Like, are you someone who you see your new identity, which it's really not a new identity, it's just whenever you want to fucking choose to embody it, like that. We're just speaking in terms of like that next soul evolution. Like, you know what, I'm explaining too much already. You know what I'm saying. Your next soul evolution, that person you want to become. Again, you can choose at any moment to become that. But like, how do they move their body? Do they work out every day? Do they do yoga? Do they do breath work? Do they fucking go on hikes? Like, how are they physically getting their heart rate up? Like, I think that's a really important piece of just health in general, but like, it puts you in your heart. Exercise puts you in your heart. And so, how are you embodying this new identity, this new version of yourself on a physical level? And, you know, these next few months is great for training. And I've been doing a lot more like heavy weightlifting now that I'm more comfortable with my back injury, and it's fucking changed the way I walk through this world. I'm like, holy shit. I feel physically stronger. And so I feel more confident. You know, I could say most of that working out has to do with my yoni egg, which I'm not lifting too heavy of weights with that. But when you're strong in your core, when you connect to your core and your vagina every fucking day, it's like, no shit, you're gonna feel stronger in your self-worth. So, ladies, maybe this is your sign. Pick up a yoni egg. Start the yoni egg practice. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go do your research. So Mars enters Aries April 9th. So the way we move through the world, okay, I'm predicting now the news is probably going to be fucking insane. Like, there's probably going to be some riots, and there, just be aware of it. These are what the planets are calling for. It's just physical reality. Like, our physical bodies is going to be in the sign of fire. The way we speak is going to be in the sign of fire. The sun is going to be in the sign of fire. And so shit's just going to be on fire. So right now is a good time to ground. When Taurus season hits, we're going to fucking have a breath of fresh air. But it's like, right now, this is a great time to fucking run with your passions. And that's where I've been. I've been doing the podcast, the writing. I've got something coming up in the works that I'm not going to mention yet. It's a book, okay? I got my book coming out soon. I've been just so fucking lit up by myself this time. And that's what I am encouraging for you to do, is find your passions and fucking run with it. And this is the season. The planets are just suggesting to us what we should do and what are we a match to. Because if everything is energy, This is the energy that's coming off of these planets, so you better fucking match with it. It's just going to amplify your becomings. And we're always becoming every second of this life, whether we're living in alignment, quote unquote alignment, or not. We're always embodying that next level of ourselves. How do you want to do that? How are you using the planets to enhance that? If I was telling you that this season was to go inward and to dream and get good sleep, then you should be doing that. But this is not the season for that. That was last season. This is the season to be communicating your voice, setting your boundaries, exploring your passions. And if you don't know what that is, go explore things. Like, what did you love doing as an inner child? Did you color? Did you make up silly dances? Did you want to be outside all the time? Reconnect with the parts of yourself that light you up and that give you this sense of self-worth just by being in your body, you know. I don't know if you've realized this, but our sense of self-worth doesn't come externally. Our external environment matches it. And so if you can light this fire inside of you, your external environment's going to match that. And I've done that, and I swear I've seen fucking miracles. I mean, I'm talking out of experience. I'm not talking out of my ass. Like, I'm actually living proof of what is to come when you start to step into your self-worth and when you start to step into that higher self, I guess you could fucking say. Like, I literally last night was staring at my face after picking at it because I have, maybe that's why I'm wearing a hat. Because I've just been, I go through seasons. And last night I just went through, I was like picking at my face and I was just like, this is it. I can't fucking continue to do this anymore. I'm so goddamn done. I'm done picking at my face, which I popped like 3 pimples, okay? But it's just, I know it's not good for me. And I said, that's it. I'm done. Tomorrow, I'm not going to do this. And I'm going to really just start taking care of myself. And I fucking made the change. It wasn't like I needed to rewire my brain or, go to an ayahuasca retreat to figure that out. I literally, and sometimes healing happens like that, where you just have to make a decision and it's changed right then and there. And you never have to think about it again. And that's what happened last night. I literally was like, I can't keep doing this. And I fucking woke up and I said, that's it. Like, I'm taking care of myself in a whole new way. And I'm running with it. And I'm not falling back into old patterns. And that is Aries season. Do not fall back into those old patterns. This is the time for you to step into that new identity. The planets are here to support you. I am here to support you. And if you forget, you need something that's going to fucking remind yourself, whether it's a note in your phone, a bow around your wrist. I don't know. What do you got to tie a ribbon around your finger? You got to tie a rubber band around your finger and slap it every time you go back into your old patterns? Find what works for you and run with it. Because we're not stepping into old patterns anymore that are no longer serving us. This is Aries season, baby. And Taurus is in Venus, and it's going to be sexy. And so, yeah, I think I should just end it there. Saturn's in Aries. I could do an entire podcast about that. um, let's see if anything wants to come through for that. This is when I'm using my channeling. Yeah, I'm just seeing the sun right now. So I would just look at what is your sun in your life. What is lighting you up in your life right now? And just run with it. Yep, I'm just seeing someone with the sun in their hands and running. And so, what's lighting up your heart? What are your passions? And this could just be you. Right now, it's me holding myself this time, and I'm fucking running with that. And so, I really hope this resonated with you. If there's anything that didn't, then I'm sorry. I really am sorry. I tried my best. No, everything is subjective. Take what you like and leave the rest. I'm truly just here to share my gifts. And my gift right now is the gift of this podcast, okay? It's free of charge for you and your brain. But you can probably hear it in my voice how I've been stepping into this new version of me. And I really just want to implement that. It's coming from a really full cup. It's coming from a whole place. And I really just want this world to be a better place truly. I've had mass amounts of healing and identity shifts in my life, and if I can share how that has happened for me or how I did it, like, and I can make someone else feel a little bit better about themselves, then I've done my job. And so I really care about you. I really care about humanity from like a deep, deep loving place. And I want you to live a good life. I want you to fall back in love and life with again. And if I can do that through astrology, then great, so be it. And so, um, yeah, just reconnect with that inner child. How about that? And go tell someone you love them. And maybe that's me in the podcast reviews. So if you feel called to share how you're feeling about my podcast, if it's nice and 5 stars, go ahead. And a lot of new things coming from Taylor. So if you like what you're hearing, there's more of it. But that's your star weather report for April. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I adore you, and we'll talk soon. Bye.